Hey, if you want to learn how to become an independent filmmaker or a filmmaker in general, I've got a book which I wrote with a buddy of mine. It's called Zan Azli and Wan Chun Hong's Guide to Indie Filmmaking. You can actually buy it off of here. I'm going to put the link down here at my website, fatbidin.com. It's only a couple of ringgit, and it's really good because it has many different chapters, the process of filmmaking, and each chapter I interview a Malaysian filmmaker who gives advice and tips of from their experience. So yeah, yay, link is down here. Yay.
You're watching and listening to
You're watching and
listening to the Fat Bidin Film Club, and I'm assuming I'm Cheryl Ibusawan.
Hey.
And you are?
Zan Azli.
And as usual, every week we watch a local movie. And so this week, we're still under the MCO. But
we're watching a local TV show, a local
pilot,
series.
would you say?
Huh?
Would you just call it
I guess. It's called Hook. Wait.
No! The platform was called
The platform is called. It was commissioned by Hook, which doesn't exist anymore.
Yes.
And the show is called Babi!
Exclamation mark.
Okay, so
we watched Babi! Exclamation mark.
we watched Babi! Exclamation mark. We watched it like 2 days ago.
Yes.
Yeah,
on
and
YouTube.
yeah, and we're only recording it now, and I'm all sweaty. We're gonna explain why I look sweaty.
Do we?
Yes!
Do they care? Do you care?
Of course! Right? This is
Let us know in the
not a
comments.
sponsor.
Yeah.
This is not a sponsor. I've just finished my exercise
Yeah, he's
session,
quite
you know.
sweaty.
You do not look this good at 42 years old without some effort.
The
right?
sentence just stops there.
Right? Without effort, right? So, come on. Yeah? So I'm fit, right? If you check my heart rate, I've got a heart rate of a pro athlete. Serious? The resting heart rate.
I never said you were not serious.
Yeah.
Who is doubting you?
When you punch my stomach,
No.
come on. Ooh. Oh, it didn't hurt. Okay, so we watched Babi! Exclamation mark. It's a. Do we want to talk about what the show is about first, or we got to explain the context first? I think we got to explain the
I
context.
think you
right?
gotta, yeah.
Okay, so Babi is a TV show that was commissioned by an online platform like Netflix, iFlix, and all that. That was based in Singapore, called Hook. Right. So they commissioned like several pilots from around the region, Southeast Asia, and
To build their content lah.
to build content lah, and then they would commission all these pilots, and then they would select the best ones who would be like the winner, and then they would commission the whole
Develop
series
into
lah.
a series,
So Babi was the one that was selected from Malaysia. It's directed by Shaiful Yahya, produced by Jun Wong, stars some of our favorite actors, right? And the pilot was done. It was on Hook, but the series was never done.
Yeah.
Right, because I think they didn't win lah, didn't make it lah. But the pilot was on Hook. But then Hook closed down because of they ran out of money. Right, they were owned by some big corporates lah, like Sony was one of the owners, if I'm not mistaken lah. But they closed down. They closed down like half a year ago. I'm going to do something really unprofessional right now, which is go and check the microphone to see if it's on. I had this feeling, that it wasn't on. It's on! As you obviously would already know. Right? And okay, so Babi then is no longer on Hook, but it survives on the internet. And
How? On what platform is it on now?
it's on YouTube. We'll link it.
Yes.
Right? Now I got a heads up on Babi through Pak Hassan Mutalib, name dropping. Hassan Mutalib sent me a message saying that, hey, this is one more political show that you gotta watch, but no other episodes,
Now
only
they know
got one
it's a
episode.
political show.
It is, we're going to explain it anyway, right? Yeah, and so we decided to check it out. It survives online because apparently it has a cult following just for the pilot. right?
Which is saying something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you can probably tell where this review is going.
So we watched it. We watched
Yes,
it.
we watched
So
it.
what's Babi about?
It's about the Babis.
Balik Baya Babi.
Okay, so it is a pilot and it starts with obviously the May 9th elections. But this time, unlike Daulat, because that was the last political thing, fiction drama
That we
that we
watched,
saw,
right, that we reviewed.
it uses real political parties. So it shows you that Pakatan
Barisan Nasional, Pakatan Harapan, Najib Razak, you know.
Najib Razak. So I'm showing you all these big players,
But it's not Tun M.
but
It's some guy named Tun Idris.
no, it's Tun M. Tun
Oh.
Idris was a previous
Oh
prime
yeah,
minister.
yeah, yeah. His father. Okay, the main
So
character's
then,
father. Okay.
all the fictional characters are basically these not to say unspoken lah, but they are like these like second tier
Politician.
kleptocrats.
Yeah. So
So-
he's not the prime minister.
Yeah.
He's probably like the deputy or some
it
senior minister in the
It centers
cabinet.
around a minister whose father was prime minister, this Tun Idris.
Datuk Sri Hamdan, right?
So Datuk
Yeah.
Sri Hamdan's father was the former prime minister, and he was vying to be prime minister, but he didn't make it.
No. His father wasn't the prime minister. He couldn't make it because Tun Mahathir.
Oh yeah, his
Tun
father
Mahathir
was
like Sailang,
so it's
you know.
like a Sailang thing lah. So basically, it's like
Idris,
a family of
yeah.
politicians.
Tun Idris
And
Hitam.
he's married to so Tun Hamdan is
Datuk
played
Sri
by
Hamdan.
Hasnur Rahmat
Hasnur Rahmat, who
that
is
we
one
really
of the
like
one of the actors that we like,
from
you know.
KLGU,
Yeah,
and
from
his
KLGU.
driver is Amirul Effendi.
Amirul
who we also really like.
We love Amirul Effendi. You know that generation, that batch, you know, that Aswara batch, the acting
Vitos
mafia,
and
Vito Kushairi and
Amirul
Amir,
and,
who?
Zahiril
Zahiril Azim and all that. We love this batch of actors, right? Yeah.
The bromance.
I call them the acting mafia lah.
Okay, so Amirul Effendi plays the driver, and his wife is a Chinese woman who's obviously the daughter of some rich Chinese businessman who is played by Chelsea Ng.
And her father is played by Ki Tuan
Tuan
Chai, one of my favorite writers in Malaysia.
Yes.
Yeah, and also a
So,
playwright and actor and all that.
The whole series basically centers around the fall of the kleptocracy after the PH government came into power.
Yup.
So it starts with them winning the elections, and then it's basically how this Dato' Hamdan's life starts to fall apart because there's so much evidence to shred. They're trying to leave the country, but they get blacklisted. And it sort of goes from there lah. And then it's like the whole first episode was basically about the sort of corner that they get pushed into, and then it seemed like it was leading into what he was going to do next.
Like he knows he's gonna get charged,
Yeah.
and he's trying to
Yeah.
do things lah,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
settle the situation.
And he also has like this 15-year-old daughter who's like helping him also, but she's not really relevant, so we don't
We don't know,
to talk about her.
right?
Well, for now she's not
Yeah.
really relevant, so we don't really talk about her. So basically, that's what Babi is about lah.
Yeah, and so we saw the pilot.
Yeah. So we saw the pilot, and this is what we think.
See, what do we think about the pilot?
Okay.
Usually when we review a series, right, we watch everything first and then we review the whole thing.
No lah,
right?
yeah.
so-
Sometimes you watch it in two parts, but okay.
So now we've only seen the pilot, and I will have
That's
to
all
say,
there is.
That's all there is, right?
So
And-
stressful.
Yeah, and there is a movement online. If you go to Lao Yard and all that, right, you see people saying, "Oh, this is a good show. You got to keep it alive. Somebody's got to pick it up, and you've got to produce a whole series and all that." And I have to say, I agree. It's got just from the pilot, right? Daulat pales in comparison. Daulat is a movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it pales in comparison. This, if you want to talk about a political drama, I think Babi is how you're supposed to do it. Like in Daulat, if you watch our review of Daulat, it's the episode before this, right? We talked about how Daulat is like so in your face, so obvious, so stereotyped. It's like reading the entire news report of what happened when Pakatan Harapan won the
Yeah.
government and all that, right? And it's just like reading newspaper reports lah, and commentaries and all that. Now, and everything is like you already know, so it's not much of a thriller anymore. But for Babi, and this is for me, right? When I watch Babi, we haven't discussed this. This is great. It's going to be very organic, right? For me, Babi was like, you already know what happens, So in the pilot, the indication is that it's not going to talk about what is already so obvious. It's going to take these fictional characters who are living the life and seeing how they are coping with it.
Yeah.
These are things you do not read in the newspapers. You know what I mean? Yeah, about that 15-year-old daughter, wow, what's going to happen to her? About the driver, what's going to happen to him? A loyal driver to a corrupt politician.
Yeah, and they also show like his demographic of the people, his community, where he goes to like his auntie's house and
who are like Malay, Hidup Melayu kind of
Hidup
people,
Melayu,
right?
Hidup UMNO, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And then you see this tension between the corrupt politician, Dato' Hamdan, and the wife, played by Chia Eng, right? And you see how their lives are, you know? So it becomes like almost like a soap opera, political soap opera, you know? And I think that's what it should be, rather than showing the obvious,
Yeah.
you know? And for me, at least, I see all these characters in the pilot, they have potential to grow in a series. It's like putting in the seeds, you know, the seedlings of what's going to happen. And I was, at the end of the pilot, I was like, I want to know more, you know. And even at the end of the pilot also, there is already like such drama at the end.
Yeah.
There is like this twist that I'm not going to tell you.
It's not really a twist lah, but it's a play lah.
It's a play.
Sure.
And
then you don't know what
on,
happens
yeah, it's
after
a
the
stepping
play.
stone
Like,
to go into
the
like real
heck,
thriller, you know. And it's something that you don't even think of.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, is this what happens behind the scenes for all these politicians now after, you know, the takeover of government and all that?
Yeah.
You know, so I
Well,
think it's
now
weird, yeah.
they're just business as usual because the government that took over has been taken over. So, a moment of silence for the death of the PH government.
What do you think of Babi?
Okay, so I feel like I can't really compare Babi and Daulat because Babi is meant to be a long form.
Yeah.
So it's meant to be like a series, right? Whereas Daulat was trying to achieve what a long form would achieve in just an hour and a half. I do agree that Daulat is not very good, though, which we've already said in our last review. And Babi is actually, for a pilot, incredibly good. The biggest difference I feel is that the fact that they were inspired by the real events. Daulat was, like you said, more like sticking to very like factual, very like very sterile in a way, but they were trying to make it like dramatic because it lacked the human element.
Yes.
Like all their characters were just your very template, two-dimensional characters that already existed in the newspapers and already exist in real life, inspired by or otherwise. That's what it was lah, okay? But with Babi, your fictional characters are actually like fictional for one, because they are all these in-betweeners, right? And they tell a different story. Because like you said, they tell the story of like what happened when the government turned, right? And then suddenly they were not like cronies and everything. But it's also the kind of things that they discuss, right? Also explore a different sort of idea. They're not just trying to make it into like a political drama or whatever, but they explore a lot of ideas of like, it was wrong what we did, but if they didn't do it, because they always refer to Najib and his wife,
yes,
and the 1MDB case, because they are also corrupt. This Dr. Hamdan and his wife are also corrupt, but they it's implicated that they are corrupt on a slightly smaller level.
Yeah, slightly smaller level. Yet it's
like 600
there's a
million
hidden
or
room
whatever.
in the house, you know,
filled with cash.
Gold bar.
So there's a point where they're like talking about this and they're saying, do you think that if they didn't go big, it wouldn't be so bad? Because he was saying, but you know, yeah, we were corrupt, but we were never that corrupt. So there's that little question of like, what degree of corrupt is bad?
Remember the doctor said, we are probably the cleanest,
we're cleanest
political family in the country
right now. And it's just like, it's bringing up all these like, I guess, interesting ideas and thought process of how these people probably sleep at night lah, you know, like these other kleptocrats in real life. Maybe this is how they consolidate it. I'm not really that bad. No, there is always a guy above me who is actually worse or whatever.
Remember when Dato' Hamdan, the wife and the daughter were like destroying evidence, and then he said, no, not only there, they didn't care. And they asked, what do you think that he and the wife are doing that
right now,
doing this too, you know? And that's when Chia Eng said, you can't share the pink diamond.
It's very honest in the sense that they don't try to overplay the dialogue. Like Daulat was so pretentious in the chess game, Machiavelli and the the way that they delivered the dialogue also was just so like over the top. But this one was very like almost like very realistic lah, because she's like swearing, the daughter doesn't
lah, and fuck this, fuck that.
Yeah.
And then they speak in English, they speak in Malay, they speak in English, they speak in Malay, just like how we would speak.
Very organic.
I have a lot of experience interacting with the past, the Barisan national politicians. They don't speak Malay, Hidup Melayu, they say Hidup Melayu outside, but in the background, they're all speaking English,
Then you've got like Hassan Rahmat pouring himself a drink and all these kind of things. They're talking about philandering, they're talking about, all these kind of things. And even like the daughter, who's actually very young, is like smoking and whatever. And it's like,
real,
you can hear people say that, oh, tak baik tau tunjuk benda macam tu.
But that's what happens.
But that's what happens.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like some neglected child of some politician. I would assume, I wouldn't know, but there are issues lah, and this show totally did not gloss over that. And it's very, it's more, not to say relatable, but it's more engaging lah. It's more engaging and more impactful than Daulat was or Raisini Kalila was. And
Raisini Kalila was...
Yeah. So, I would say maybe potentially this was could have been one of the better May 9th political dramas that we would have been able to see, but we wouldn't know because we already saw the damn pilot.
So you would tell people to watch the pilot?
I would tell people to watch the pilot. And I would tell platforms to please pick this up.
Yeah, let's start a movement.
For God's sake, make the rest of this,
Let's start a movement for somebody to pick this show up. But we don't know, maybe Hook holds like the rights and they don't want to say, I don't know.
I feel potentially it could be a censorship thing, because even on the YouTube link it says Babi uncensored. So what if
but it wasn't Hook.
A lot of people don't want to pick it up because Malaysian platforms, because I don't know, seditious.
But then you see Daulat, right? Daulat was didn't pass the censorship board, couldn't be released in the cinemas.
Also not that great.
It came out on Netflix. So it can.
I don't know.
So let's start a movement. Those of you who feel that Babi should be picked up and made into the whole series, the series is made, done.
Yeah.
Let us know, man. Come in. Let's start a movement. All right, share this video.
You can also share a prediction of what happens next, because that would be very interesting.
It would be fan fiction. Fan fiction of a pilot that never went, a series that never happened. Right? So
because, we don't know when we're gonna get to see the rest of it. So yeah, might as well.
So share this video.
Yes, like this video. Don't like this video.
Share it. We need to start a movement.
Share the video.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Follow us.
Follow us on all our social media platforms at FatBidin. I'll go to fatbidin.com to get everything. You've been watching.
Safe.
Oh yeah, stay safe. Don't wash your hands. Sing happy birthday twice. Don't die. So the MCO is over soon. And you've been watching and listening to the Fat Bidin Film Club. I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
And I'm sure it was
That's the way to do it.
Babi.
Yeah.